The Petco Park vaccination site is back open after the county got thousands of vaccine doses. Those doses, though, not part of a delivery that was expected this week, where they came from instead. A new timeline on when we can expect the general public to have access to the vaccines. And Rush Limbaugh's wife announcing that the 70-year-old talk radio host has died. ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us on this Wednesday. I'm Virginia Cha. I'm joined remotely by my co-anchor Jim Patton, as well as 10 News meteorologist Megan Perry. Good to see you guys, and we'll hear from both of you in just a moment. But first, we want to start with this. A delayed shipment of COVID vaccine left the county scrambling, and now we are learning how Scripps Health helped get the Petco Park super site back up and running. But ABC 10 News reporter Cassie Carlisle says that could lead to more complications down the road.
Petco Park reopened Wednesday after shutting down for 3 days. The shutdown caused when a shipment of Moderna vaccine didn't show up last Thursday. The county reached out to its medical partners to fill the gap, and Scripps Health had 3,000 doses of the vaccine that they were getting ready to distribute to their patients.
We calculated, and it was a lot of calculating because we wanted to make sure we had enough. 2,000 doses of Moderna we gave back, and then we offered just under 1,000 Pfizer.
Acute care chief medical officer at Scripps Health, Ghazala Sharif, said the state doesn't want them to continue saving doses for patients' second shot, instead encouraging medical practices to trust more vaccine is coming.
So far, you guys haven't had any problems getting your shipments, right?
Well, just today, we did not get a Moderna that we were expecting in.
The CDC saying weather is delaying the shipments. A huge concern for anyone in the medical community and for the public who want to get vaccinated.
My main hope, though, is that we have a consistent supply. You know, we can't have this up and down, up and down.
Cassie Carlisle, ABC 10 News.
San Diego waiting to find out if our county will make it out of the purple tier next week. Governor Newsom says there are signs of hope as the weekly number of people testing positive for COVID-19 continues to drop. He says if things keep up, several counties could move into less restrictive tiers. Our testing positivity rate just dropped into the red tier range for the first time in months, and other metrics the state considers are also moving in the right direction. A group of health experts, including 2 local doctors, are pushing the federal government to take further action to acknowledge airborne coronavirus transmission. In an open letter to the Biden administration, the group says inhalation is the primary way people are exposed to coronavirus. They want the CDC and OSHA in particular to establish clear guidelines on how to safely mitigate exposure. And they want those agencies to set up standards for things like ventilation and which types of masks should be made available to workers at the highest risk. We're going to talk to one of those local doctors behind the letter coming up at 11:30. Well, we've been covering the vaccine delays here in San Diego and some of the issues across the country. And now Dr. Anthony Fauci updating what he believes the timetable is for when the general public can expect to get vaccinated. He thinks doses will be widely and readily available by around mid-May. He says one reason for the delay is that while Johnson & Johnson is closing in on authorization, they have fewer doses ready than expected, fewer than 10 million. Virginia?
Thank you, Jim. This is new today. Rush Limbaugh, a staple of conservative talk radio, has died. Limbaugh's death announced this morning a year after he revealed he had lung cancer. ABC's Rena Roy looks back on his influence on American politics.
The darling of the conservative right, Rush Limbaugh was a very sharp thorn in the side of the Democratic left.
Lost 3.3 million jobs in this country since Obama's stimulus plan, and it's going to get worse.
His popular radio program, The Rush Limbaugh Show, broadcast for over 30 years, was averaging 13.5 million listeners each week by 2006. It was there he shared a very personal revelation in February of 2020.
I have been diagnosed with advanced lung cancer.
His fight against the illness forcing him to reduce his schedule.
There are going to be days that I'm not going to be able to be here.
Shortly after his diagnosis was made public, he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by former President Trump.
Thank you for your decades of tireless devotion to our country.
Limbaugh came from a long line of politically active Republicans, dropped out of college after just 1 year, and found his niche in radio. His acerbic wit and tongue, initially going after peace activists during the first Gulf War, gained him legions of fans. He had health issues even before his diagnosis. Cochlear implants helped him combat near total deafness, and he admitted battling personal demons.
I am addicted to prescription pain medication.
That got him in trouble with the law, a judge ordering him to rehab for several months.
The media has been very desirous that a black quarterback do well.
That comment about quarterback Donovan McNabb in 2003 got him labeled a racist and sacked by ESPN as a commentator. It resurfaced in 2009 to help dash his bid to own part of the St. Louis Rams. Through all the ups and downs, he continued to be a hero for the right. "I love being a conservative," he once wrote in the Wall Street Journal.
Because we're not quitters, we don't acquiesce, we're not going to give up the American dream and watch idly while it is restructured and transformed.
Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Some new developments in the ongoing sexual assault cases involving former NFL player Kellen Winslow Jr. The San Diego Superior Court says there's going to be a modification to the terms of his guilty plea later this week. Winslow Jr. was convicted of multiple charges, including forcible rape back in 2019. Then, right before he was set to be retried on other charges on which a jury was deadlocked, he entered guilty pleas. We are working to find out how this upcoming hearing could impact that. We will bring you updates as we learn more.
Well, now to the winter storm blasting large parts of the U.S. and the deadly impact it's having. In Texas, massive power outages as the state sees once-in-a-lifetime conditions. ABC's Marcus Moore was there this morning and has the details.
Another round of snow and ice is hitting a region already paralyzed after the first storm that came through, leading to blackouts and really just an absolute mess across the region. Amarillo getting hit hard overnight with cars and trucks sliding off the road. The snow there packing the roads. Tow trucks out rescuing drivers as temperatures drop to near zero. And part of the Lone Star State hitting record low temperatures not seen in a century. Cascading power outages and rolling blackouts persist. More than 3 million people are without power in this region, and the cold and loss of power has turned deadly. At least 20 people dying, including an 8-year-old girl and a woman dying from carbon monoxide poisoning after a car was running in a garage. They were using it to help heat the home. And in Houston, hospitals there treating at least 140 patients, including a mother and child in critical condition, after using charcoals indoors to try to stay warm. Politicians are promising consequences as a result of all of this on the part of the power and energy providers here. But families bundled up with no electricity are trying to do whatever they can to stay warm. And energy providers have said that it is likely that power won't be restored to any significant degree until the temperatures here get back above freezing. Marcus Moore, ABC News, Dallas.